a sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Small Talk. My guest today is a student at UFV. Now, for those who don't live in British Columbia, that's University of Fraser Valley. Welcome to the show, Hallie Gilis. Hello, Hallie.
Hi.
I had to learn her name properly before we started the interview because you can't go by spellings anymore, right? Anyway, so now what year are you in at the university?
I'm going to be going into my 4th year, but I'll probably take a year and a half to finish it. I'm a little slow.
Tell me about being slow. What are you studying?
Biology with a concentration on ecology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I know you are the current president of the, oh my gosh, I've just gone brain dead. Hold on, don't say it. Wildlife Protection Club.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to get involved with that?
Well, I've always, ever since I was a little kid, I was just obsessed with nature and protecting wildlife. I've been told I'm a bleeding heart, all that kind of stuff. And it's just always been a really strong passion of mine. And then when I started at UFV, I decided to see if I could find some like-minded individuals, especially since in biology for your first 2 years, you're mixed in with a lot of pre-med students and stuff like that, which is fine, but it's just not what I was going into. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to find people who were interested in what I was going into. So I just reached out to the club and said, hey, how can I get involved? And I started out as their sustainability coordinator. And then the previous president graduated and I took over.
So sustainability, what did you say?
Sustainability coordinator.
What do you do?
That job was mostly just when we would put on events, I would just coordinate with the club and with Sustainable UFV to make sure that we're meeting certain criteria to have the events certified. All our events were certified gold for being highly sustainable. So there's no styrofoam, no plastic straws, it's fully accessible to people with different abilities, all that kind of stuff.
Right. I'm just wondering if you get a little frustrated because seems to me that that's the changes move slowly, with the plastics and all that. It seems to move a lot slower than perhaps it needs to. What do you think?
I agree. I think there's changes in a lot of ways that need to be made on both the personal level and on a higher level. People always say, the pressure shouldn't be on us as the individual to make those changes, but I think it's both.
Yes.
And so the individuals need to make changes and we also need to pressure those in charge to make changes as well.
I agree with that. If each of us did our own little part, whatever that means, right? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to talk I'm in a strata. I'm trying to talk to council about getting rid of the lawn and getting lawn cover instead. We're more little creatures or whatever. So you're not spraying to kill weeds or anything like that. And I think that's an easy fix in a way if people would do that. But for some reason, people love their lawns,
Yeah.
Now, tell me some of the things that have been done for the wildlife.
Well, under me, the first and only event that I've done, because I just took over in January, we did a willow staking event. So essentially willow cuttings, you can just stab them into the ground and they'll just grow a new tree. So we worked with Roy at Metro Vancouver in Aldergrove Regional Park. And we put in a bunch of willow stakes to kind of create a barrier between a new trail and a stream to create a habitat barrier for any wildlife in the area. And that was really cool. We didn't have a great turnout, but it was still a really cool event and something that's, I think, I'm proud to be a part of that. And then in a couple of years, I can go walk down there and see the work that we've done.
Yeah, and the willows grow fast, don't they?
Yeah.
Which is really nice. It's almost like you would think of it as a weed in a way, the way they grow, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Because as you said, it offers that protection, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now what's coming up? Is something coming up in the future?
Yeah, we've got our Art for Wildlife showcase and silent auction that's raising money for the Fraser Valley Conservancy. We did do it last year and raised about $4,000, which was just a fantastic turnout. I don't think any of us expected it to go that well. Right. I myself am like, you know, an artist. I do my own thing. Um, and also as a ecology student, it just really combines my two passions. And I just thought this would be super cool if we could do it again.
Yeah, for sure.
So the goal was to do it in September originally, but as a new president and we had a bit of turnover in the club, everybody's had a really busy summer. It's just been too much for us. So we have postponed it till November.
Right.
But I think it's going to be really, really cool. And I know I'm going to do a piece. I'm pushing my mom. She's a watercolor painter to do something. And yeah, so, and I think it's really great for the community to come out and support local arts while also learning about local wildlife.
So what kind of art do you do?
I do some digital art. I started out doing work with markers and watercolor. When I was a kid, I took a lot of inspiration from like Tim Burton and stuff like that. So that's the kind of style that I do. It's kind of that creepy, spooky stuff. But in the last few years, I've been branching out into a whole bunch of different stuff and just trying things out.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. Just try things out, right? I'm started in the last few years, and I found watercolor a little bit difficult for me. You know,
yeah.
I want to go the way I want it to go. But anyway, you know, it's nice to know that that people are willing to help. I'm hoping you got some of because I know some of the artists that were that gave donations last year, because I got in contact with them, or maybe it was the first year. I can't remember. Has it been just 1 year's been done?
Yeah, this is the second one we've done.
Okay, so last year, yeah, because I knew some artists from my show, right? So they said they were willing to do. So I don't know if you contacted them again this year, but I hope you did, and I hope they responded positively. So that's always nice to get there. And I think the more whoever we are, can help in any way we can, then why not?
Yeah, right? I think it's awesome. I couldn't believe the turnout we got last year. It was insane. It was fantastic to see.
Right. So are you getting the same type of turnout this year, you think?
I'm hoping so. And I did contact some of the artists. I contacted all the artists who donated last year. I did get responses back from a couple. And some of the art is just absolutely fantastic. I know I've got some of your pieces, and there's been a couple, like somebody sent me a painting of like a bear cub that was just beautiful. I'm so excited to have that in the show. I might try to bid on it myself. Right. So
and I know one person, they had a fire, so I don't know what happened to their work. You know, they may have lost everything. I haven't a clue, which means they have to start all over. So, but we never know why people don't respond or when they do, right? It just the chance you take. But again, I always like to encourage people to help out if you can. You know, donating your work, whether it's art or a book or whatever, the good thing about it, in my opinion, is you get your name out there.
Yeah.
Right? People see, oh, well, you know, maybe somebody bought the book you wanted to bid on, but you can always order it and you know, yourself. So that gets, like, for me, it's a win-win for the person who's donating and for the club, right?
Yeah, and then the money all goes to a good cause, so it's not like you're just donating your art and giving it away for free, which, you know, I think some artists do have issues with, which is valid. But I think in this case it goes to a good cause.
For sure. Now you link events, or I don't know if that's the right word, with Wildlife Federation.
We haven't.
It was last year, I think.
It's Fraser Valley Conservancy is who we usually do stuff for.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. So,
yeah, and I know. Sorry. I know under Molly we had done some events for under our last president we had done some events for Elizabeth's Wildlife Center as well, which I think would be cool. And then I previously have worked for Wildlife Rescue Association, so I think that would be cool to see if we can get involved with them as well.
Right. So how does it work when you link up with the Conservancy, for instance?
We just have contacts. And, you know, for example, for this event, I just told them, you know, we did this last year. I'm sure they remember. And, you know, we want to do it again. They'll probably send out a representative. They're helping to promote the event. And last year, I think it was Alicia from Fraser Valley Conservancy had come out and given a little talk at the event. You know, and I know for myself, for example, when I reached out to Metro Vancouver, I had a contact who I've worked with before. I do hummingbird banding with him. I was just like, hey, I know you do this kind of work. Is there anything we can help you out with? And, you know, he kind of organized everything for us.
Right. You just said that quickly, but I got to ask you about that hummingbird banding. Like, that cannot be easy.
It's not. I'm not really allowed to do the banding because I'm not, I guess, certified yet or anything, but I help out with the like catching them, taking their measurements, that kind of stuff. It's really, really cool. I haven't had a chance to go this year, but I went the last 2 summers. It's so cool.
Right. I like to brag about the fact, like my husband, he's passed, but he owned some property up in Ryder Lake, and he accidentally came across a hummingbird nest with eggs in it.
Oh,
yeah. Can you imagine? Like, it's like, oh my goodness.
They're so tiny.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's wonderful though, that you do that, or learning how, the process and everything, right?
Yeah.
When now you mentioned some other things you do as well. And sorry. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off guard or anything like that, but I just kind of curious about all the things you do, because it's fascinating, right?
Like me, I saw, like personally or as the club?
Personally.
Well, like I said, I'm an ecology student, and I've just been trying to kind of feel out as many different things as I can. I did an undergraduate research project on bumblebees with Dr. Sandra Gillespie. Okay. That was super cool. Yeah, and I've done some bird banding stuff. I've worked at a wildlife rescue. Last summer I had a summer job doing that. This year I'm working doing like park maintenance to kind of learn the operations of that. I previously worked doing mosquito control, just a whole bunch of like different things, and learning all the ins and outs of, I guess, the whole ecology fields, and seeing where I would like to be when I graduate.
Very nice. Yeah. Now, just if people want to get a hold of you, maybe they have a donation, what's the best way?
You can email us. It's ufvwildlifeprotection@gmail.com, or you can look us up on any social media. We have submission links as well on our like Instagram profile. Our Instagram, I have to double check what it is. I'll look it up here.
Well, you can always send me the link, and then as we finish this conversation, if you could message me the link, then I can put it when I do the rendering. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to end it there.
Okay. So
just stay on camera. So I just want to remind everybody, you've been listening to Hallie Gilis. I did want to say Haley, but I underlined the A here, so I remember to say Hallie. So if you can help out, whether it's donating or once the auction is online, perhaps you can check it all out and bid. And it's always kind of fun, I think anyway, to see all the items and what you might like to have. So so thanks everybody for watching the show. I hope you continue to do so, and subscribe and share and like all of those wonderful things. Take care everybody, and peace out. I thought I hit
a sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be, a sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.